Samuel Armenteros joining Ross Smith and me. Samuel, congrats, first time on the score sheet. As a Timber, how's the team feeling? How are you feeling after that win?
No, obviously it's an energy boost. We know what the game means to the city of Portland and everybody involved. It was amazing to be a part of that for the first time, obviously. And now we're on a streak. We feel good, getting better day by day, and we're getting to know each other. I think that's one of the keys that we're seeing right now, that we're coming together as a puzzle. You know, it was a lot of new faces beginning of the season, me being one of them, and just finding out our rhythm in the team and getting to know each other day.
Strikers are there to make a difference in the game. If we have a look at it now with the goal that Blanco scored, what did you see on the play, on the situation where you got on the ball?
Well, obviously I turned around here and I saw him make a run in front of his defender, and that way he can make a bow down the middle. And I saw a little opening there, and you see the left central defender just being just a little bit too short to make that block, and he made a sliding tackle. Obviously the ball went past, so it was a perfect execution and a great finish by Seba.
Scary finish and scary celebration as well, as he put on the mask when he saw the Chucky mask come on after the celebration from Blanco when he went looking for it. What did you see from that angle?
I just sunk to my knees, to tell you the truth. I was just so happy I made that pass, and that we took the lead, obviously, in the later minutes. So all of a sudden me and Diego, we came a bit later. They were standing there hugging around, and we came like 20-30 seconds later, and all of a sudden he had that mask on. I was like, what's on here? And I tried to find him. I wasn't sure it was him. Then I saw his back and his number. So I was like, oh, there he is. So I ran to him and gave him a big hug, and yeah, it was a good one.
You said your son was at the game as well, and your son actually really enjoyed the Chucky mask. Wasn't scared by it at all?
No, he wasn't very scared. He thought it was funny. I guess he haven't seen, you know, what the Chucky is and what the Chucky do. He's only 3 years old, so he sees a mask and he thinks it's fun. But yeah, I know. No, it's a good celebration. I like seeing that. You know, it's a part of just enjoying what we do out there on the field, especially when you made a win like that in the later minutes. It was very special. You don't see it too often, so. It was fun.
So this is your first time with us. Want to talk a little bit about yourself, maybe introduce yourself a little more to Timber supporters. Born in Sweden, your father's Cuban, your mother's Swedish. You speak 6 languages, is that right?
Yeah.
How has that shaped your background? How has that shaped the person you are now and the player that you are now?
Well, yeah. To me, it's not that. I guess I've gotten used to it. Yeah. It's just a big mess with languages. Mess I shouldn't say, because I'm privileged to be able to speak as many languages as I do. I grew up with 3 languages, obviously, speaking English, Swedish, and Spanish. Since my father didn't speak much Swedish back in the day, so I spoke Spanish with him and Swedish with my mother. And yeah, you know, got earned to English very early on in my life. And then I made a move to Holland when I was 16. I played there for many years, so I learned that pretty quickly, and learned Portuguese during those years as well. Played with many Brazilian players that didn't speak much English, so I tried to translate using my Spanish to help them. And then a year and a half later, I spoke fluent Portuguese. And then I made a move to Belgium, where they spoke some French. Played in Italy so far, you know, and also in school back home in Sweden, we learned Norwegian as well. And my brother's half Norwegian, so yeah, it's just a bit of everything.
You have a tough enough time to speak English as it is, let alone be able to speak in other languages. But you're learning of MLS in general, and you knew quite a few guys related to MLS. Michael Bradley, a former teammate, Sasha Klesson, Josie Altidore, former Portland Timber, Will Johnson. And then off camera, we were just naming a bunch of names throughout MLS you have a relationship with. What was your knowledge of MLS going through these guys before you came into the league?
No, obviously, you know, it's a growing sport in Europe. The thought about American soccer still is okay. It's a growing process that will get there. Obviously, you see better and better players joining, and the soccer and the knowledge here as well growing much faster than it did years ago. And obviously, that was obviously what they've been telling me as far as they feel and know about the competition so far. And they say no, it's really not what most people think over in Europe. It's the level's getting higher. Obviously, you see us. We draw very many big players as well that come here, young talents that are developing themselves, and and the youth national teams obviously are developing good quality players as well. So it's a big country and a lot of people here and a lot of talent to be spread out through the team. So no, it's exciting competition.